What's up, everyone? I am the devastating Just Cause, and this is DJC Game Studios. Welcome to this special edition of... That's not really a special edition of anything, but it is Turbo Extravaganza. That is what it is. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I have in my collection for Turbografx, what I'm looking to get, what I've sold off very regrettably, and what I'm looking forward to collecting in the future. So let's get at it. Now, back in the day, if we all remember Turbografx 16, you had your Super Nintendo, you had your Sega Genesis, you had some other things, but my favorite was the Turbografx. I don't know what drawed me to it. I think I saw it in a store. I loved the way the little cards looked. I loved the commercials. The commercial would always show the giant bosses and the cool things from like Legendary Axe. And finally, I ended up getting one. And the game I got was Keith Courage and Alpha Zones. That was the very first game I ever got. I remember bringing it home, because I believe at the time I worked at Sears under the escalator, because this has to have been 91 or 92. Anyways, I was fitting watch batteries, saving up my money, and I went over to Funkoland or Babbage's or whatever it was called at the time, one of those two. Electronics Boutique, remember them? Remember GameStop? Wait, they're still here. So what I would do is I would go there, check out the games and play them, and I was like, man, this is really cool. Anyways, I ended up getting my first Turbografx. Then I went to the store to Toys R Us, and Toys R Us would have a wall of the boxes that you could look at, like underneath like a plastic, and then you had the slips you had to bring up to, at least in our area, the slips so people wouldn't rip them off. You'd bring to the counter and be like, I'd like this game, please. And I always look for the one with the coolest graphics, coolest looking bosses, and I came across one called Air Zonk. And that kind of sealed it for me, for loving Turbografx. And after that, I got another one called Fantasy Zone, which is from the Sega arcade port, which was another just great little shooter. And then after that, I got Splatterhouse, which was like, what, Splatterhouse from the arcade, that banned arcade game, the Jason-looking guy with the hockey mask? Well, yes, I had Splatterhouse. And then I ended up getting Parasol Stars, which is fun. Then I started getting to the ones that were just like cheap at the time. None of them are cheap now. But I think Parasol Stars is one of those like $19 or $29 games. It was like, and then I got quite a few others. I got Legendary Axe 2, which is still one of my favorites. Legendary Axe, Victory Run, a great racing game for the time. But let's go back now. Then I eventually got a Turbo Duo. I saved up money to buy the Turbo Duo, and it had the CD games and the chip games, everything all in one. And I was happy. And people were like, you still haven't got a Genesis? You still haven't got a Super Nintendo? Well, I eventually got them too. But I was still pushing the Turbo. And Lords of Thunder came out on CD. I remember I had the promo VHS that I was showing to my friends. Look at this. Look how cool this shooter is with the amazing heavy metal music soundtrack. Well, times went on. I would order stuff through catalogs. And what I didn't realize, well, we'll get to that in a second. But when I moved out to California about 99, 2000, I believe it was, like 2001, 2002, I was like, man, it was me and 5 guys, so rent was fairly cheap, and I was like, I want to pay my rent for like the rest of the year and not have to worry about getting a job or doing it. So I was like, because I had money saved up, and I was like, well, you know what? I'll sell, this is stupidest thing I ever did. I sold my, it was my 3DO, yes, it was my 3DO, my Turbo Duo, my Turbografx 16, all my games, a Juno synthesizer organ, I think it was a Juno 106, Juno with a little note bender on it, I can't remember. Anyways, I ended up selling them for... And it was everything. I even threw one of my Intellivisions in there and a bunch of Intellivision games and everything, because it was like the point where I was like, I wanted to have the money, do my music, do this, that. And I can't even believe in some of these, and I said this in a previous video, some of those in television games, I got brand new shrink wrapped ones from a catalog from in Huntington Beach, California, for a Radio Shack that was still selling their old stock. So I go up there and be like, yeah, I'll do a Cubert, I'll order Popeye, Utopia, Spiker. Like, they had all those things. I didn't order Spiker, but I'm just saying, like, I could have. And I was just doing them to what I liked, so I wasn't thinking, even back then I wasn't even thinking like, oh, the television games will be worth $5,000 for Spiker Pro Volleyball. Spiker Pro Volleyball. Anyways, going back to it, I remember packing up my Turbo Duo, not thinking, man, this will be worth $2,000. Some of my games, this will be worth $1,000. Okay, so now going back to the surprise. This past during COVID, the lockdowns and everything last year, I think it was like, I don't know, what time of year it was. I was cleaning out my basement, moving some stuff around, and I got all the boxes from my old house and my childhood. Popped one open, and it was like all my graduation cards from when I graduated, from like a graduation party I had. Bunch of Matchbox cars and a couple other toys I used to have, little things like Freddy Krueger stuff, and I looked, and stacked neatly, I'll show you, was a bunch of these. I kept all the original boxes for my games because I thought the artwork in Turbografx was so cool. And they're in fantastic shape. I mean, you got your every little corner thing there, but look at how great of shape all these are. The boxes alone, some of these will go for over $100. And I was like, oh my God, I found a fortune, a gold mine. Well, now I want to re-buy all my games that I originally bought as a kid with my own money. So these are the boxes left that I still need to rebuy. Kadash. Be careful with these. Legendary Axe 2. Air Zonk. Even the chip by itself goes for like $150. It's insane. Splatterhouse. Ninja Spirit. That one's got a little dent in it. Tiger Road, kind of a rare one there. And of course my Parasol Stars. Now, what I still do have, or what I've managed to set as complete again, and I'll show you how far I got. And I've got the protectors in them now. Set these here. So I got my Power Golf original box complete, all in box. Sidearms complete, in box. My Victory One, what am I, Elmer Fudd? Victory Run complete, in box. Has a little dent right there, but this protector should stop it from getting any more. Still worth a decent amount. My Fantasy Zone, my original Fantasy Zone, is finally now complete. Legendary Axe original, complete. And my final complete game, Pac-Land. So I want to eventually get everything turned into what I had with the rest of these games that I still have boxes of. And it's expensive, but fun. Well, that's my little share of my Turbografx story that keeps getting better and better as I try to complete the rest of my boxes to complete games. Thanks for watching. If you like or if you hate me, I don't care either way. I want you to give me a thumbs up just because you're a good person, right? Please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you on those internets. Every time someone has to text me while I'm doing a video. Or maybe I just need to turn the volume off of my phone. See you then. If they only knew I had Air Zonk and Parasol Stars right here. Expensive. I keep them on me at all times. No one's getting my collection. That made 0 sense. I don't keep them on me at all time. But if anyone out there's got a case, just the case and manual for Air Zonk or Parasol Stars, let's make a deal.